when we talk about national development, we seem to get the contribution of the creatives, the contribution of writers. And writers and creatives have always been making a mark on our society. Welcome to Oral Tradition and another adventure in Guyanese literature. And let's welcome a poet, educator, public-spirited person, Phebe Wallerson, all the way from Bartica. Phebe, welcome to the program.
And thank you so much for having me.
With me, I have a book of poems. Some great stuff. Great writing, great turn of phrases. But let's tackle my opening statement. Why are writers not accounted for in national development? Why are we left out?
I'm not sure I have the answer to that question, but what I can say is that it has quite a lot to do with the value we place on this particular form of, the creative arts. We oftentimes see that Guyanese writers, and I've only come to understand very recently, maybe about 2 years ago, the volume of writers that we do have in Guyana, most of whom are unknown to the rest of the world. I don't believe that we're left out. I just believe that the value system is kind of, not in our favor. Why? I don't know. But I'm always a glass half full kind of person, so I know that as we continue to put the work out there, we will get the recognition that we should get.
I like that statement. If we continue to put the work out there, we will get the recognition. And from that little place, Bartica, we have produced quite a few writers, including 2 winners of the Guyana Prize for Literature.
Right.
All right. Daniela Chase with her book Becoming Bolder, with every step, and Dr. Estherine Adams, 2. And that's wonderful. That's wonderful for the area. How do you feel about that? I mean,
I am so proud. I am very, very proud of what is happening at my end. And I say that Bartica is a perfect slice of what Guyana is. And if you're from Bartica, you know everybody.
mm-hmm.
And I know these 2 remarkable women so well.
Wow.
And to see them on that stage, it's both an inspiration for me and as well as a really profound moment of pride. Because traditionally, Bartica is known for lots of things except academics and, creative arts. And that's strange because we have so many creatives in that little slice of Guyana.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
We have writers who are published. Even our regional vice chairman, Mr. Alan Marslow, is also a published author. But we're not getting out there is exciting to me. That we're being seen on the world stage, and I'm so proud of them. And I'm also hoping to join them very soon.
Nice. Good, Eve. I always say to writers, emerging or published writers, try to market yourself as much as possible using this program and there's not many other things. I was editing the Guyana Annual, which has gone dormant again. But whatever avenue there is, make your work known. Right.
We have an advantage now with the technological age and the advance, of social media and the power that we see coming out of social media. So I believe that once we put enough effort into it, once we do the part that we should do, use the tools that we have available, we will change the landscape. We're going to be able to make the impact that we dream of
Okay.
making.
Yeah. There was a time when there was a flood of writers from Berbice. Lots of writers. Demerara, Esipubu, in that order, I think. Linden produced quite a few. And now, Particle. I think I'll name this program Particle Rising. Particle Rising. Now let's turn to a bittersweet piece of creation. This book of poem, LAHCIM.
LAHCIM.
LAHCIM. And I said bittersweet. The sweet is that you were able to put yourself through all of that remembrance to produce this and produce something good. The bitter was that what triggered the book. Talk about your book.
Alright, so LAHCIM is a piece of heart writing that came out of the sudden loss of my sister who died in December 2024. She's my younger sister and my only sister that I share with both my parents. So we grew up together. She was just 2 years younger than I am. So all of my life, she has been my sister, and I lost her suddenly. In the process, I needed to find something to do with all that I was feeling. And like most other writers, you kind of channel your emotions into your work. And for me, this book is not just a collection, but it is survival. Because it really marks how I was able in the 7 months just after her passing to be able to put a frame to all that I was feeling. And grief is something that is profound in itself. And it can do many things, some negative, some positive. And I wanted my experience to be positive because I knew that would have made her proud.
Yeah.
So it's a collection.
You've signed my copy with, we must remember to let grief speak. I'm going through the book and I'm feeling great amount of empathy. The value you put on life, living together, sharing, and the hurt that you've gone through, and the way you have dealt with it. Is there one that you would like to open that captures this whole thought of allowing grief to speak?
Alright, so before I do that, I would want to say that part of what I understand now, based on the journey that I've been on since she died, is that every single emotion that you feel when you lose someone, it has value. And even when the emotion is misunderstood, that value doesn't decrease. Even if you do not understand why you are feeling the way you are feeling, it still has value because it represents the thing that you have lost that cannot be replaced. And so I was able to transform some very raw journal entries into poems. And so what you find along the poems is that I basically wanted to give grief a skeleton. So they said they're stages of grief. I said, okay, let me see what these stages look like for me.
Yeah.
And so that's how that's how
The book is
the
composed.
book is composed.
Okay.
And so I would want to share this very short one. It's called Past Tense. And I was a language teacher for a few years, and my mom is a veteran language teacher. So this is past tense, and I'll read a poem, and then I'll tell you how I ended up at this poem. So past tense. I began her eulogy, and verbs betrayed me. She was, she had, she used to. I edited carefully. Grief makes grammar political. There is no rewriting this reality. She is no longer allowed the present tense.
As I said, it must have taken a lot out of you to pen those words, but it has done its good. Go on.
So past tense came from the frustration and anger that I was feeling. As a writer in the family, and one of just a few,
Yeah.
usually when somebody dies, and this extends even to my life in Bartico, usually when somebody dies, they say, Phoebe, can you help me with the eulogy? And so I would write eulogies. I have many eulogies that I've written. And I try my best when I'm writing a eulogy to not make it, she was born on this day, she died on this day, she went to this school, she worked at this job. I try to make it about the person.
Yeah, yeah.
And so
yeah.
imagine the frustration of knowing all the things I need to know about my sister and being unable to write of her in the past tense.
Yeah, yeah.
So my journal entries around that point were really laced with anger and frustration, not only at losing her, but at the language itself that I felt was so, it was so harsh to me.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so that was past tense.
I'm trying to find the one where you, the God I spoke to after. Well, it's not paginated, there's no numbering.
Yeah.
It's almost down to the end. I think we have to look at this one. It's before split.
God I spoke to after.
Yeah. There's this second verse. The God I cursed in anger did not finish. You will do it. But this is what I like. While I scream in my best English, then in my worst Creolese, and then in no language at all. This is this is a wonderful piece of writing. Let's hear you. Your best English, your worst Creolese, and no language at all.
Yeah, so it came from a point where I was questioning God, and I'm a Christian, so when things happen, we hold to the truths that we were taught all of our lives, that God will work all things together for good, that everything that happens, there's a reason and a purpose for it. And so while in grief, I battled with those teachings, I battled with those things. And so sometimes I would literally be talking to God, trying to put it over eloquently, and then it would lead to me screaming at God, like, just, why you take my sister? Why? I need to know why. And then there are times when you
piece
don't.
of Hebrews inside or whatever.
Yeah. And then there are times when you really don't have any words, but you know that you're screaming. You know that God hears you screaming. So, yeah. Really fighting back the tears this morning because
I'm sorry.
No, I'm happy for them. I'm happy that I can now talk about her and not, do so in a hopeless manner.